I was going to do just an aquaponics update, but I've decided to I did the aquaponics clip, but then I decided, I might talk about the chickens. And since I'm talking about the chickens, I might talk about the quails. And since I'm talking about the quails, I might talk about the bees. So how's about we do an update on the critters? G'day folks, Andy here from McDowell Manor. Okay, so we're back into, well, I think it's spring, but it's almost summer. It's leisurely 35.2 degrees out here today. Bloody hell. But the good news is, now for long-term viewers, you'll know this is completely almost empty in winter because there's no sun. The house blocks the sun out. But in summer, the angle swings around really nicely, and so we get sun back on the grow beds. You can see the tomatoes are booming. They're going quite well. Only cherry tomatoes over here. You can probably see them there, the green ones. Anything bigger than that just gets stung, so there's no point. You can see the shallots are still going well. They actually survive through winter, but just don't do terribly well. Another thing I wanted to try, and that's a bad example, but it's one nonetheless, is capsicum, or sweet peppers, I guess you call them in the States. I'm doing them because I want to have a crack at making my own paprika. So I've got a whole bunch of them in the little shallow beds of the aquaponics as well. Although it looks like most of them are getting growing out, or have gotten growing out. What the heck's going on? I had to just do a quick dig around. So we got two here, and there's one here, and there's one down the end. So we're down to 4 out of 6, which is a bit unfortunate. The only good news is that yes, I've lost a couple of capsicums, but in the reverse, the kangkong's coming back. That's this stuff here. It's starting to come back. It really dies off in winter too. It's coming back nicely, and that's a mainstay green for us. You know, coming up with the warmer months when our lettuce is all bolt, we can fall back on the kangkong. But you can see he's even sneaking away out of the beds there where I didn't start him off. Oh look, there's a tomato way over on that side near the fence. Bloody hell. In terms of fish, the water's looking pretty dirty. As you can see, that's because I've just cleaned out both the filters. And when I do that, I tend to discharge a whole lot of rubbish into the tank, which is a bit unfortunate, but it'll clear in a day. Now I'm down to 3 fish. Long-term viewers will also remember I had the great winter cold snap, so for the first time ever, since I've been keeping aquaponics, probably for 5 or 7 years, I lost fish because it just got too cold too quick. It took me a long time to work out. I was water testing and carrying on like a pork chop to work out what was going on. It was the temperature. So I've left a heater in here now in 35.2 degree days. It's got an inbuilt thermometer, so it's not going to cut on, which is perfect. So like I say, I've got 2 filters. One's down this end. It's a pump that runs up and comes out there. Then I've got another one up the other end which comes out and goes into the big grow bed. So there you go folks, that's the current state of play. Once we hit late December, I'll actually buy more fingerlings so I can stock back up to about 50 fish. And I've got about 1,000 litre tank. Alright, well hopefully someone's going to find this of interest. You know, there are ups and downs, particularly at my house. My big down is the winter but it's not, well, it was this year caused by the cold, but normally it's just caused by lack of sun. As you can see, that problem seems to have resolved itself pretty darn well. We have 5 chickens. You can see 4 of them. The other one is in her nest box because she's gone broody. So, oh, that's her saying, go away, don't bother my eggs. So We were getting about 2 eggs a day in winter, really slows down, but we're back up to 4 a day now. The girls are doing quite well, as you can see. The only issue we really have is the broodiness, which I can live with. I'll give you a demonstration of said brooding. There's Florence down there in the nesting box. I'll just get rid of this plastic for you. There she is. Oh, she gets grumpy when she's broody. Oh, look at her fluffed up. So what Daddy does is puts his hand up under the back here. Has a feel around for eggs. None there. Oh, thank you. And then puts the door down. And everybody's happy. I don't freak out if they go a bit broody, provided they don't stay there for too long. If they're there for, you know, a month or more, I start to shoo them out and lock the door in the day so they can't get back in. But there you go, we're back up to 4 eggs a day. Very happy with that. Let's talk about quails. I've got a 3-tier quail system. On the bottom we have our latest batch of young quails. So these are this season's batch. I've got another batch in the incubator as we speak. So we'll see how we go with them. Hopefully we'll get some. I've got a few people I want to give a couple to. Yes, Valerie, I haven't forgotten you. But that's the new guys. I haven't sexed them yet. I really think they're a bit young. Oh, well, we got eggs. We're getting 4 eggs a day reliably from the quails. This is one boy. That's him there. And 4 girls. They're doing pretty well. They're getting a meal a week from the mealworm farm, so I might include a quick bit about the mealworms as well. Now up here we have all the spare males, and you can see they're ratty, they bother each other all day. It's a family orientated channel, so I won't tell you what they're doing, but for those of us who are quail keepers it's pretty darn obvious. So before the next lot of eggs are hatched, I need to knock all these, probably bar that white bloke, who I'll keep, and put him with 2 of the 4 girls down here. So I've got 1 boy and 2 girls in 2 cages. Maybe. Otherwise I'll just knock the lot and put the new birds up here. We'll see. There's the incubator that's got all those eggs. There'd be about 24 eggs in there. Did terribly the first hatch, only ended up with 6 at the end, but partly that was we had a blackout one day just when the chicks had gone in the brooder, so I lost 3 or 4 that day. That was a little bit upsetting, but it is what it is. Those 2 are little native beehives. Let's see if we can, you can probably see the bees are just little tiny black dots that duck in and out. I've got a 3rd hive which is just over there up the north side of the yard. Now this year I've decided I'm not going to split the hives. In probably mid-January I will harvest some more honey. You only get about 1 litre of honey, if that, per hive. But I want to try and, I had a bad year last year, so I'm going to let them really strengthen up. We'll split them next year, I think, so they'll have a year off. What's really good about the native bees is you don't do anything, you just leave the little fellas alone, and they fly around and fertilise your plants and do wonderful things for you. They're no bother at all. They're not going to sting anyone because they're stingless. How good is that? And the last critters I'm going to talk about are the mealworms. That's them in that series of black drawers. So there's 4 drawers. I ended up buying 2 packages of mealworms. I put the first lot in originally, and then about a month later I put the second lot in, so let's have a look. These are the newest mealworms up on top, and you can see there's plenty of worms. That's where I feed the quails, hopefully eventually the fish, and the chickens will get food from there as well. They're in rolled oats and little bits of carrot, provide them with ample moisture. Now in the drawer below is what was the original mealworms. So you can see there's not many worms, and what is there is in fact converting to beetles. Oh look, we got one that's just pupated, that light brown one there. just come out from being a worm into a beetle. I pull the beetles out, and they go in the bottom drawer. Now the reason I'm not pulling that out very far is the bottom drawer has a mesh bottom, so the whole drawer bottom is mesh, and the idea is all the eggs and stuff fall through into the bottom drawer, which I'll eventually put rolled oats in so they've got some food and a little bit of carrot, and hopefully this will become self-sustaining. That's the plan. If it works, I'll be winner chicken dinner. If it doesn't, well, it doesn't matter. I haven't lost anything and I've given the birds a few good meals. Alright, so that's an update on how the critters are travelling at the farm. Geez, I've got to tell you, she's a hot old stinker of a day today. Luckily we haven't hit the 40 degrees, but I'm also mindful of the fact we're not even in midsummer yet. Anyway, if you enjoy this kind of city farming stuff, self-sufficiency, that kind of thing, please feel free. Hit the subscribe button, folks. It'd help me out. Alright, you have a good one, eh? Hooroo.